it'd be so easy as dungeon masters for us to be like, oh, you killed all those goblins, and look, one of them was a dad. Like, I don't. Two players have low combat skills. Two other players have just low defense, but have magic. So they can escape thinking about some low-level creatures to fight. Maybe one big one. Run or be tricky. So one way to Far From Civilization. Okay. Well, what I was going to say is, and obviously, like Away From Civilization, maybe this could work, maybe not. But sometimes when there's, especially if they can escape with magic or maybe low combat skills, sometimes I might put other people at risk. So maybe there are other people that are either fleeing or in danger of some monster or some enemies. It could even be like a hostage situation extrapolated to the desert wherever you are. Hostages can be or the hostage takers could be monsters, I guess, and so it becomes something that the party doesn't or can't necessarily escape from. See, that's actually an excellent situation because your party wants to be heroic, right? I'm not personally a fan of. I was just talking about this the other day because I'm working on a new campaign concept, like a mini campaign, like maybe like really small, like a mini series, like a six session campaign. And I'm not really a fan of kind of needling, like from an emotional perspective. Like I need to think of a right name for this, but it'd be so easy as dungeon masters for us to be like, oh, you killed all those goblins, and look, one of them was a dad. Like I don't I don't like poking at that kind of stuff because I don't find that very compelling. But um, to find a legitimate moral sort of conflict. I just got done playing a couple weeks ago the Last of Us 1 and 2, which does some interesting stuff with like empathizing with characters that maybe seem initially, um, not so good, or that you maybe want to dislike. And it'd be interesting to what I've been thinking about is how to create, even in like a 6 session arc or a little mini campaign, to create some of that back and forth of okay, well, you know, in my case, it's a seafaring campaign, so maybe they are siding with the kind old captain, and they're there on a task that he set them with. But in their time on the island, they meet a couple of different factions, and they begin to sympathize with one or the other, only to find out at the end that the captain is opposed to one of these factions, and maybe now their loyalties are pulled, and which one will they ultimately side with? It might have to be like a three-way. I don't like it being a binary choice. I don't want it to be this is the good choice, this is the bad choice, but complex enough that the choice they end up making matters, and that kind of in a situation where they have to make a choice. And I think that um, that can be a compelling, like you want to what do they say in fiction? It's like we compelling fiction is all about creating characters we love and then putting them through pain. Um, if it's legitimate, if it's actually born out of the you know what motivates the players, I think it can be interesting as long as it's not, like I said, poking in that way. But when you say maybe a monster is bullying a tiny harmless monster, um, it could be that there are different creatures or different forces that are in opposition to each other, and the party sort of has to help one or the other, or maybe they abstain from both, in which case it's like mutually assured destruction. But anyway, hey, Daleks are cool. Welcome. It's challenging to do that. Um, it's challenging to do that. Sometimes the way I think about it is that if these characters seem bad, it's because you're pretty far down the ranks and they're taking so many different orders. Like it's really easy to see like a squad of hobgoblins as just like, oh, these guys are just evil. It's like, well, okay, but you don't really know what they're about. That's kind of what I tell myself because I agree. I don't really like it to be, you know, no matter what's going on, it should be that somebody's taking a stand for something, and that isn't inherently wrong ever. And the world should feel complex, even if it's not. Sometimes we do just serve up monsters to be destroyed by the party, because that's typically what happens. Anything we put in front of them is going to get largely decimated. And that's okay. Like adventuring is, I think, heroic adventuring is part of the expectation at the table. So I think it's okay to lean into that from time to time. But the overall substance of the story should have more to work with. Exactly what you're saying, CS. Yeah. Yeah, you don't it's a balance. It's a balance. Uh like an Indiana Jones balance. Like we we want we want Indiana Jones to save those kids. That's important. He should want to do that. We don't want him to be to disregard that. But also, we want to fill the movies with Nazis that Indiana Jones can kill, and we won't feel bad about. Like, it's the balance, right? Both of these things can happen in our game world, and you know, then we can still have fun that feels important.